take a break. Got to go zip up my tents. I will be right back. Put a shirt on there. Ask yourself, asshole. I don't give a shit what you think. Ah. Okay, let's get back into this again.
Walking down this rocky road, wondering where my life is leading, rolling on to the bitter end, finding out along the way what it takes to keep living. You should know how it feels, my friend. I want you to stay. I want you to stay. I'm ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. Ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. Yeah. Oh, your love. Now I'm on my feet again. Better things are bound to happen. All my dues surely must be paid. Many miles and many tears. Times were hard, but now they're changing. You should know that I'm not afraid. I want you to stay. I want you to stay. I'm ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. Ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. I want you to stay. I want you to stay. I'm ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. Ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. Ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for love. Ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for I'm ready for your love.
Oh. How y'all doing out there, man? Did a 60-mile bike ride today, and now I'm ready to play some music. We're doing the music of Bad Company.
I had a love that was so true, and I wouldn't have to make do with the half of love that I have found that is carrying me down to the ground. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Tell me love can be found. I had a love was so weak, and who would know the way I'll feel? Well, I want all your love today, just to keep me from fading away. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. rebel souls, deserters we are called. Chose a gun and threw away the sun. Now these towns, they all know our name. Six guns down is our claim to fame. I can hear him say, "Bad company, and I won't die." Bad, bad company, till the day I die. Yeah, till the day I
This song is called Bad Company by the band Bad Company. And I'll be featuring the music of Bad Company this evening. I had a request.
I live my life the way that I choose. I'm satisfied, nothing to lose. I don't ask no favor. I don't know the reason why. If I don't ask no question, I don't
This ain't a request line, man. I only take requests from one person, so forget it. Whoa! Seriously. that song in decades.
Spend my days with a woman unkind, smoke my stuff and drink all my life. Made up my mind to make a new start. Going to California with an aching in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers in her hair. Took my chances on a big jet plane, never let 'em
Okay, here we go, baby. Everybody's got to confused, baby. Oh man, I haven't played that song in a long time.
Dude, you hotbox this big time.
so I tie another one to the rafts. Hey, kids, rock and roll. Nobody tells you where to go. What if I ride? What if you walk? What if you rock around the clock? What if you do? What if you walk? What if you try to get on? Nobody tells you what to do. Hey, kid, shake your leg. Maybe you're crazy in the head. Maybe you did, maybe you are, maybe you rocked around the clock. Maybe I ride, maybe you walk, maybe I try to get along. Maybe you're crazy. Nobody tells you where to go. Maybe you did, maybe you won't, maybe you rock around the clock. Maybe I ride, maybe you won't, maybe I try.
But I just started playing this way when I'm doing more bluesy stuff and more jazzy stuff. Get a nice shuffle with the. it now?
I guess so.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the music and talk a little bit here, but
Oh, okay, well, I'm going upstairs.
yeah. So,
Peace out.
okay, so to tell you about the drum set, it's a Fesley, Fesley, dude. This is like the cheapest electronic drum you can buy on Temu. It was like $450 for the whole set, shipped all the way from China. And it sounds pretty damn good. I got a cheap 20-watt little speaker, little amp I'm using for the output. I'd like to get a bigger amp for this, but yeah, otherwise it really sounds good. It's fun to play with. It's got a bunch of different sets you can play in there. You can even customize a set if you want. Yeah, nobody knows this brand, dude. It's literally the cheapest Chinese shit that you can buy on Temu. And this way, if I take it on stage and it gets beat to hell, I can buy another one. It ain't no big deal, man. I got cymbals that cost more than this set. I've got a Zildjian ride cymbal that's worth more than this set, so. But I like the electronics because you can balance your volume with the other musicians. You can run it through the main PA and get it to come back through the monitors, So stuff like that is one of the real advantages on these things. I'd say one of the disadvantages, I don't like the feel of the hi-hat, these rubber hi-hats, but it's better than some sets that just have a cymbal and a foot pedal and they're connected by a wire, and it's just bullshit. So avoid those, man. Get the one that's got an actual hi-hat stand. They got some that are cheaper that just have the simulated hi-hat thing, and it's not any good. I've had that before, and it sucks. So, yeah, it's got the mesh heads, like the Rollins came out with a long time ago. And, yeah, they hold up pretty good, man. I've been playing the hell out of them, and they hold up pretty good, man. I haven't busted any of these skins. I don't know where you get replacements for these things at, but I'm sure they're available. Because it's got lugs, so you can take the heads off. Yeah, you know what? I felt the same way, man. And I've got some classic drum sets that are worth a shitload of money. But you know what, man? Once I started, first of all, I got this so I could practice with headphones and nobody in the house would be disturbed. That was the first reason I got it. Because you can, put headphones on and run your music through everything, and all you're going to hear is some clicking sounds, So that was the first reason I got it for. But then, I started really liking the sounds I can get out of it. There's a lot of different sets you can get out of this thing. I mean, all kinds of old disco sets from the 70s and all kinds of shit, man. There's all kinds of stuff in here. And it's a good setup. It's a good setup for me, so. I've actually done some studio work through the internet for some people using this drum kit and running the output out of it. So it's really convenient for that kind of stuff. I don't have to run a bunch of mics and try to find a soundproof room and all that kind of bullshit. And, I can lay down the tracks, perfectly until I get them. I can lay them down over and over again until I get them right, and then they can pick the one they want, So it was a good way to make a few bucks. Everybody's got to have a side gig in this economy, man. I grow weed and, I do other stuff, but yeah. My GG4 will be ready to chop in about 2 weeks. Maybe a day or two more, but I'm not going to wait too long on it. I don't like to let it go too long and then it gets all couch locky and I can't get off the couch kind of shit, so. Oh. Whoa. So I rode 60 miles a day on a bike. Then I came home, and then 45 minutes later I came down and played an hour of music on the drums. So, yeah, that's why I don't have a shirt on, man. I'm sweating my ass off, okay? I'm sorry if it offends anybody, but you know what? This is what I got, so, I mean, a lot of bands, a lot of young bands the drummer used to play with no shirt, man, Drummers do all the work, man. You guys don't have any idea. If you're not a drummer, you don't know, man. Those guys get up there and they sit there and they play their fucking guitar, man. And they stand in one fucking place, and, Oh yeah, they're really working their ass off, you know. And then, you know, you got your keyboard players, you know, yeah, they're working there. Sometimes they're sitting on a stool even. They're really working their ass off. Look at the fucking drummer, man. He is sweating his balls off. I've literally lost 3 pounds playing music one time in water weight. Seriously. I lost 3 pounds in water weight playing a concert one night. We were warming up for Head East. And it was an outdoor concert, and it was a hot motherfucker. And I just sweated my balls off, and I lost about 3. Yeah. Well, you know what, man? They act like they're working so fucking hard, man. You know, yeah, your fingers are really fucking breaking the sound barrier, you know? But seriously, man, you watch the drummer, he's running in place. Listen, Harvard did a study on cardio exercises, and they said the number 1 cardio exercise is swimming, okay? Number 2 was a heavy metal drummer. They fucking hooked that guy up to fucking EKGs and shit. Yeah, I love the bass guitar player. He's my man. He's my man. You know, we party together. We heartbeat together. Yeah, he's the only one in the band that can fuck my timing up. But seriously, man, Harvard did a medical study on this, and after swimming, they clocked this fucking heavy metal drummer playing for like 60 minutes, and they said it was incredible, the workout he was getting. Because, I mean, literally, you're running in place, and you got your fucking hands moving, your body's twisting. I mean, there's a lot of motion going on. And usually, you're sweating. So, you know, your heart rate's up a little bit and everything. So, yeah, I mean, I can look at my heart rate now, and it's like, it got up to 162 while I was playing, you know. Now it's back down to like 96 now. So, you know, yeah. I mean, it's a real good workout, boy. Yep. Yep, you gotta know it's a good workout. So, how's everybody doing, man? Do I know Maceo Parker? No, I'm sorry, I don't. And I don't know a lot of famous drummers by name. I know their work a lot of times, but I don't know who the hell they are. You know, I'm just bad about that. I don't, you know, I don't. Oh, did you hear the Rush just got a new drummer to replace Neil Peart? Her name's Anika. I want to say Anika Larson. I could be wrong on the last name, but her first name is Anika. And she is, God, I read her resume, all the fucking albums and fucking concerts she had done with different bands. This chick must be fucking, yeah, oh man, I love a good sax player, man. I've always wanted to have a good sax player in a band, but I can never find one. But anyway, she must be phenomenal, man, because Geddy Lee said, we auditioned a whole bunch of drummers that could play every note part for part perfect, like John Bonham did, or like Neil Peart did. But none of them had the feeling. I'm like, oh, well, you give me a fucking break. You know, he's got to feel like a Canadian drummer or something. I mean, you know. So they auditioned a whole bunch of drummers that I'm sure were phenomenal drummers, man. Because, I mean, if you're going to audition for Rush, you know how hard that shit is to play, man. That broken beats he did, he would just start going and then just stop and break and stop and stop and break and stop. I mean, it was just maddening to try to learn those things, you know. A French drummer. Oh, cool. Wow. So what kind of music are you guys doing over there, man? This is all old shit I'm doing, man, because I'm an old drummer. I do a lot of 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s stuff, you know, and then I do some of the newer stuff if I like it. A lot of it I don't like. I've been working on Evanescence lately, man. That guy's got a good drum beat, and I like him. You know, I've been working on some of their stuff, like "Bring Me to Life" and some of their other songs, and it's a good workout, and it's a little bit. It's got a little bit of a rap feel there, but it's not just screaming. And the chick's got a great fucking voice, and the guy that does the break parts, you know, the rap parts. He's great, and they actually have music in it. It's not just, you know, banging noise and you know, loud bass. It's really, I like their music, and they're doing some good stuff. So I've been working on some of that lately just to get, you know, the chops for it. I mean, seriously, You know, I like to study a drummer. You know, like for example, I did that Fleetwood Mac song. I watched all kinds of videos of Mick Fleetwood playing drums. You want to talk about a goofy looking motherfucker. When he's playing and he gets going, his face looks like this. Okay, I swear to God, I'm gonna make the face. I mean, it is. I mean, it is unfucking believable the way he plays. You know, he's a great drummer. Always was a good drummer. And you know, he banged the vocalist, so he did all right on that. You know, for a while. Um, but yeah, he's got. But I like to study the drummers. You know, and what's great is now there's all these videos on YouTube that you can literally bring up and watch them play the stuff live in concert or on stage or whatever. And they flash to the drummer enough that where you can kind of pick out what he's doing, you know, and just kind of look at him from, you know, from the angles and see, is he riding the hi-hats or is he riding the cymbal or is he doing jungle drums in that part there in the middle, you know, just stuff like that. And you can watch him and see what kind of, once you see the pattern once, it's going to be the same all the way through the song. You know, ain't going to change a whole lot, so. Oh God, I sound like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm really not a great drummer, and I really did not have a great career. I did play on stage quite a bit when I was younger. Did some studio work when I was younger. Got a few CDs out there still floating around somewhere, but yeah. Oh yeah, I have two real sets. I have a Roy Burns original set from 1975. It's got the triple mounted hi-hats in an arrow formation. You have to have really long arms to get to the middle tom. And it was a fucking expensive set when I bought it. And it's probably worth way more than I know now because they don't, you know, Rogers doesn't make drums anymore. And they made some really good fucking drums. So I got that set in reserve, and then I got just a cheap Gretsch that I bought just to take on stage. So I got the Roy Burns, which is a oh God, what? Yeah. So yeah, it's you can look it up on the internet. Roy Burns. He was a really good drummer, and he had really long arms, so he made these tile arrangements where you had two down and one up in the middle. And like I said, a lot of drummers would get on my set and they're like, man, I can't reach that motherfucker. I'm like, yeah, I know. Oh God. So yeah, like, you know, drummers have a lot of fun in life. So I get a call one afternoon. This is like when I was like, oh man, I don't know, 17, 18 years old maybe, I don't remember. And this guy calls and says, hey man, my drummer broke his arm last night. I said, well, that sounds like you got a big fucking problem. He goes, somebody told me you could sit in pretty well with anything. And I said, yeah. He goes, we do a lot of Nugent. I said, okay, well, cool. So I get to the fucking gig. Oh yeah, DW is great, man. Fuck yeah, drum workshop, it's good shit. So I get to the gig and the stage is set up on top of a fucking school bus. I'm like, are you fucking serious? So I get his lackeys to haul my shit up there, and the fucking stage is like this, you know, it's like really fucking moving around. And we start playing, you know, and this guy who's the lead singer and guitar player thinks he's actually Ted Nugent. I don't mean he thinks he's like Ted Nugent. He really thinks he's fucking Ted Nugent. So the guy's really pissing me off all night, man, because he just keeps playing these long ass fucking solos on every fucking Nugent song. And like, you know, longer than Ted did, you know, and Ted was a good fucking guitar player. You don't need to improve on what he's trying to do, you know. So I'm getting fed up by now, man. It's fucking 100 degrees outside. I'm sitting on top of a metal fucking bus in the middle of a farm field with a generator, you know, and a whole 9 fucking yards. And the fucking stage is rocking, the fucking cymbals are moving and shit. I'm like, okay, this ain't fucking working. So we're playing Stranglehold, and there's that part where Ted Nugent just does this real long guitar part. It just goes on for quite a while, but not as long as this guy. And his name was Ted Hansen. I'll never forget that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So he just keeps fucking playing. And I look at the bass player, and he just kind of shrugs his shoulders like, yeah, man, this is what the fuck he does, And I look at the other guitar player, and he just kind of shrugs his shoulders. He's kind of embarrassed about it. Finally, I got a stick bag right next to my hi-hats. Finally, I got about sick of it, so I scream out, wrap it up, motherfucker! And I threw my fucking right stick and hit him right in the back of the fucking head, man. And before I missed a beat, I grabbed another stick out of the stick bag and went right back into the fucking drum part. And he turned around like he had been shot. So we end up wrapping this fucking gig up. And this guy comes up, he goes, hey man, you play a pretty good beat, let me give you my number in case you want to get together. And the cocksucker leans down. My bass drum was on the floor, on the ground, face up. The cocksucker leans down, takes a fucking pen, and writes Ted Hansen and his phone number on my fucking bass drum. I gotta tell you, man, I've actually almost killed people for touching my drum set on stage and shit, and that just about put me over the fucking edge. I was like, you cock-sucking, arrogant motherfucker. You ain't that good, and I don't want to ever fucking play with your ass again. But that was my Ted Nugent night. I'll never forget that, man. It's always fun sitting there with a band. You don't even know what the set list is. You get there, and you're like, I hope I know most of these songs, And I did back then. I knew all kinds of songs back then. Back in the 70s and early 80s, I was doing heavy metal a lot, Really heavy metal, man. My fingers and hands would bleed and shit from blisters and calluses. Yeah. I was doing that shit back then, man. Busting drum heads and sticks. All kinds of shit, man. I don't play that hard anymore. I don't have to. Damn drums do the work. And when it be louder, I just turn the volume up a little bit. So literally, I probably burned about 1,000 fucking calories today. And it says I've done 9,083 steps between riding the bike and doing the bass pedal and the hi-hat pedal. Well, I also got a double bass pedal down here too. And dude, this will be something if you're still here. I'm working on a technique where I use my heel of my left foot to actuate the other bass drum pedal while I keep the front of my foot on the hi-hat pedal. It's a new technique. I've never seen anybody else do it, and it's hard to do, but I'm getting it down slowly. So I can keep that double beat going even while I'm doing hi-hat work, So that's one of my goals this year is to get that polished a little bit more. All right, you know what? I'm getting tired of sitting here talking. I really appreciate you coming, everybody coming tonight, and somebody in particular. And I think I'm going to go upstairs and fire up my bong and drink about a gallon of fucking water. Oh, well, yeah, I did a workout today. So anyway, like I'm always saying in my videos, medical marijuana is literally going to be the savior of mankind. They just found 2 new cannabinoids in marijuana that they have directly tied to inflammation relief and pain relief. They've actually identified these 2 brand new cannabinoids that they've never identified before. There's over 1,000 that they've identified, so that's pretty wild. They're still finding more. They've actually found the ones that isolate, the ones that actually do pain and reduce inflammation. So they're thinking they can isolate those 2 and make a medicine out of it. But I keep telling these fuckers, there's a whole spectrum of stuff in marijuana, and when they started taking shit out of it, just little bits of it out of it, it did not have the desired effect. There's a certain effect that comes with the whole blend of the plant. And when you just start isolating parts of it, back in the 80s, 90s, they had out this shit called Marinol, which was supposed to be Delta 9 THC isolated and in a gel pill, right? And a friend of mine got some of them, and I took one of them, and it didn't do jack shit to me. It kind of burned the inside of my mouth. You know, you're supposed to bite into them, I guess. And it kind of burned the inside of my mouth like acid, and, you know, it really didn't get me fucked up. But I tell you what did get me fucked up. I went to a festival the other day and did some THC beverages, and they were only seven milligrams, and I got a pretty nice little buzz off it. So today I ordered 8 seltzers, flavored seltzers, that have 60 milligrams of THC in a fucking can, in a 12-ounce can. 60 fucking milligrams. Now that is going to knock you on your ass. You ain't gonna need no alcohol with this shit. Holy crap. Could you imagine if you take this shit and you mix your favorite shot with it? I mean, really? You want to really get fucked up? Holy crap. So anyway, I got that coming in the mail, and it's like $7 a fucking can. I thought 2-ounce shots. 2-ounce shots that were 100 milligram? Wow. That had to be pretty fucking strong, man. That had to be pretty fucking strong. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that coming in. You know, just another way to enjoy my favorite substance in the world. I have been smoking marijuana now for 45 years. 45 years. One has 1-to-1 CBD. Oh yeah, that's probably good too though, because they're finding out there's a lot of healing benefits in CBD that aren't in, regular pot. So, yeah, they're really starting. In fact, those 2 cannabinoids that they isolated, I think it was from a CBD-rich plant, and it was also, I think, also a sativa. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. So I got some plants available if anybody needs them. I've got a couple that I think are rum runners, and I think I got one that I think is a ground zero. Now there are a couple clones I took that were like Bubba Cherry Bubba, and they seem to have made the transfer from water to dirt. So yeah, you know what? I'm hearing rumors that you can start buying these THC drinks in liquor stores. Now, I haven't seen it yet because I don't really go to liquor stores a lot, but the guys I bought this drink from at the festival said that their product was in some liquor stores and they were going to up theirs to 10 milligrams. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a good idea. But, okay, we can work that out. Yeah, so that'd be interesting to see, how this ends up going because, the weird thing is, when I first got into all this, the first thing they told me, the cardinal rule is THC is not water soluble. That's why you distill it into oil or you distill it with chemicals and separate it that way. It's not water soluble. You can't make tea out of marijuana. It won't do shit. But somehow they have found a way to microencapsulate, that's what it says on the label, microencapsulate the molecules of THC where they're still absorbable by the human body. I don't know what the process is, and I'm going to start doing some research to see if I can make my own drinks. I'm sure they're using like distillate, like they're using a butane distillate or a propane distillate or something like that. I'm sure they're doing something like that, so they get a nice clear liquid, and then I just don't know how. They may have to put some kind of emulsifier in there, like when you're trying to get oil to mix with like, your Jello to make gelatin cubes and stuff like that. You have to use some kind of emulsifier so that the oil and the water will mix. Otherwise, they'll just separate. As soon as you pour them in the mold, they'll separate and you'll get shitty gummies. So you use like soybean lecithin or something like that, you know, and then the gummies come out perfect, you know. So, interestingly enough, you could probably put some alcohol into those too and make kind of like a Jello shot with THC. I don't know why you'd want to, but you could. All right, well, got cotton mouth. I'm out of shit to drink. And I need to wrap this up. It's been fun. It really has been fun. I really wanted to end the day this way. And it's been a special experience because you. All right. Love you all out there. And remember, keep taking your medicine. Cheers, Holly. Peace out.